Yo, it's Jared, I'm on chess.com. Let's play a 10-minute game. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's just play a game here and see what we can make of the position while I ramble on aimlessly waiting for my pairing. Here we go. E4, best by test, as Bobby Fischer would say. Would have said back when he was alive. Okay, so we have the standard Ruy Lopez position so far. What is Black going to play? Black has a few options. He's played the Steinitz Defence. I believe the move is d4 in this position. There's a few options here. After the capture, I can play knight takes d4, or even queen takes d4 isn't so bad. I'm going to play knight takes, I think. I'm expecting bishop d7, then knight c3 I'll probably play. Yeah, knight c3, knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, queen takes. I'm better in that position. Probably a6 or something is a reasonable try. Now I must capture... In fact, I don't have to capture the bishop. I can capture with the queen here. I had this recently. I'll give this a go. The bishop's protected by the knight. He resolves the tension immediately. Now I'm attacking a7. Am I threatening to take? Maybe. He kind of ignored it though. The question is it too risky to take on a7? Probably is. Because I take on a7, for example, he can just castle queenside. How do I save my knight? How do I retreat my knight? I kind of can't retreat my knight. I can play c4 here, with the idea of capturing on a7 and then retreating. c4 is not such a bad move anyway. Okay, what's his threat? I'm trying to ask myself this question. Don't think he really has one yet. My idea if he plays a6 is just knight c3 now. And I've got good control over d5. This is my argument in this position. I've got good control over d5. I've got 4 pieces controlling the d5 square. And if he has to make a move like c6 to keep a piece out of d5, then that's a pretty big concession. Weakening his dark squares. Okay, so I think I'm just going to castle here. I've got e4 thoroughly protected. Alright, rook e1 castles. Can I play e5? Rook e1 makes sense anyway. If castles, can I play knight d5? Is this interesting? It's not bad. Knight d5, if he takes with a knight, I capture with the e pawn. Got ideas like b3, bishop b2. I'm going to play b3 first actually, with the idea of bishop b2 and then knight d5. Knight d5 first. Okay, let's see, rook e8, bishop b2. What does he do here? Okay, c5 is weakening. That's how I view c5. But it's not such... Actually, I was going to say it's not such a bad move. Maybe it is, because now d6 is very weak. I think just dropping back to d3 should be sufficient. Still bishop b2, knight d5. Okay, I don't see the threat, so I'm going to continue. His bishop is now actually loose, so knight d5 takes, I'm attacking the queen and the bishop. He's got to play queen d7. But then I don't see a follow-up, so I'm going to continue with development. I don't see a threat here. What's the threat? I'm trying to ask myself this a lot. What's the threat? Also, what is Black's plan? What would Black's likely plan be? Considering the pawn structure, I would think he would want to play for b5 at some moment. Not right now, because it loses a pawn. b5 takes, queen takes, for example. Just loses a pawn. Although he does get the... no, he doesn't. Okay. Okay, he's playing for b5. Okay, interesting. If I play a4, my b3 pawn is weak. I think knight d5 is not such a bad move. Not such a bad move. In fact, it makes sense, really. Knight d5, e d5. I'm attacking the bishop and the queen. Queen d7. I've got good control in that position. And then I could be threatening... in fact, I like it enough to do it. So, knight d5. I'm also threatening just to take the bishop. I'm also threatening to take the knight, take the bishop, and then trade, and then give his king weak pawns. So he's forced to take. Now the idea was to take with the e pawn, opening up my rook, attacking the queen. The only move really is queen d7, or queen c7. Okay, I thought surely queen d7 to keep an eye on b5. Okay, the problem here with queen c3 immediately is bishop f6. That's the problem. And I don't get anything. Although I've got queen g3 is a move. I like this. I think queen g3. If he plays g6, he's just badly weakening his dark squares, although he's still got the bishop. I like it enough to play it. It's the second time I've said that in this video. So threatening mate, a bit crude. Now if he plays f6, that is... ooh, I was going to say that's very bad. Surely, rook e6. Surely rook e6 is just too much to handle. Rook e6, b5... my bishop on b2 is a bit loose. Rook e6, b5. Rook over, takes... Now I can take on e7 there. So rook e6. Just landing a rook right in the hole that he's made on e6. I think g6 was probably needed. He couldn't play bishop f6. I'm just going to pile up on his bishop now. I've also got pressure on the d6 pawn, so it's not so easy. If he moves like bishop... In fact, if he moves bishop f8, I think I can just take on f6. Rook takes, bishop takes, and it's a pin. Very interesting position. Thinking about exchange sacrifices, taking with the rook. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work. Take again, queen takes. It's not working because my back rank is a problem. Okay though, but what about just simply rook e3? Bishop f6 doesn't quite work. Bishop f6, bishop f6. Ah, bishop f6. If rook f6 I take on e7. If bishop f6 I can take on d6. Bishop f6, rook d6. There's no need for any of that just yet. Let's just do a rook lift. So I'm preparing possibly rook f3. Now, I was saying this before, can't I now just take on f6 with either the bishop or the rook? The idea, of course, is he can't play rook f6 because I can just take and this pawn is pinned to the king. Ah, in fact, I'm also threatening here. No, I'm not. I thought I was threatening rook d6, bishop d6, but I can't take here because, of course, the queen and rook are defending. So, of course, that's total nonsense. But, I wonder what else I've got in this position. To play with. I've just won a pawn. It's a critical kingside pawn. What to do now? Ooh, this is a bit nasty. b5. I probably got to take that. Probably have to take that pawn. I can't allow takes and rook b1 or rook b2. That would be too much. So, okay, I want to keep that closed. Can I play bishop e7 here? Takes. No. Let's just drop back with this bishop for a second. If you play c4, I'll probably just play b4, right? I want to keep this closed. In fact, maybe bishop c3 was a better square. Now, I don't see a c3 push anytime soon from black. So I want to keep everything closed over here. Everything's nicely protecting each other. I've really got black on the ropes, I think, in this position. There should be really just a brutal tactic at some point. Play this move to trade off one of black's defensive pieces. This rook is perfect on e6, it's guarded by the pawn. Okay, he wants to go into the ending, which the ending still should just be winning, although I'm a bit down on the clock here. I'm going to decline. Maybe h4, h5 type ideas. Okay, I'm down to a minute 19. He's got an eye on f2 and a3, but I don't see how he's getting to those points. He doesn't have any way to come in to my position. No queen c5 or queen d4. So I'm just going to push this h-pawn down the board and try and quickly get to his king. h5, h6. Let's just keep pushing. Being down on time, I need to yep. I need to defend against queen f2. An idea I'm just seeing now is queen e6 to pin this rook, and then rook f3. Let's try that. I want to play rook f3 now. Alright, I'm just going to trade. I'm down on the clock, so I want to simplify a little bit here. If I trade, takes with the bishop. I don't know. Bit down on the clock, but he can't really attack any of my pawns. This is something important, that he can't attack my pawns. So I'm just going to keep pushing here, and he can't bring his king any further. So this should be I have to take that, I think. So he can't approach with his king because my pawns are controlling all of his entry points. I think I have a simple plan in this position actually. I'm just going to bring my king up to d4 and at some point play for a4 and make a passed pawn. a4 now takes b5. I can catch the a pawn. Do I have any other prep moves I can do? In fact, what about just king here and then a4? This looks pretty simple. a4 now. So if he plays h5, I'll just take. And his king is way too far from... Yep, I can play this now. So takes, I play a5, b5. Now my king can come back to b2 if he plays a2, and now this pawn just promotes. Even with 20 seconds I should be okay here. Queen. Give a few checks. I think I can pretty safely just grab the d pawn next move. And now I'm playing for d6, and now I'm mate in 2 with queen e7 and queen c7. Mate. Can't be prevented. Alright, with only 14 seconds to spare, I managed to checkmate my opponent. Okay, that was a fun game. Alright, let's take a look. I'm very interested about this game. So Ruy Lopez, Steinitz variation. d4. As I mentioned in the game, queen takes d4 is also a move. I don't know many of the lines in that variation. This is just normal stuff. Yes, I think c4 is good. Don't see much of a problem with c4. So now, his dark squared bishop's actually pretty bad. It's kind of hard for him to get it out into an active position. c5 I'm not a fan of, because it just simply weakens d5. So I don't know what queen c6 does. Bishop b2 is normal. Rook b8 playing for b5. Okay. And knight d5. This is a I think this is a good idea. Trading off this knight and opening up the e-file, opening up the long diagonal towards his king. Queen g3, f6. I think he should have played g6 in this position. Although it's hard to say, really. It's hard to say. But rook e6 is just a really powerful rook on e6, which cannot be budged. That rook is just there for the rest of the game, really. He can't even like bring a rook over to e8. Maybe he should have played something like rook e7, try to trade down some of these pieces, but this just blundered the pawn, of course. So I traded to keep it closed, because I don't want his rook on b8 to get some play. Now just trading off his defensive pieces. Even trading down queens here is probably still winning for white, but I wanted to complicate things a bit further. I had to guard against a queen f2 check. And now he insists, and I go ahead with the trade. Now, even with low time, it was easy for me to see that this king can't make any progress. This pawn and this pawn are both guarding e6 and g6, and once he trades bishops, which happened in the game, yes, his king can come to f6, but he can't make any further progress. So it's just very easy to play for white. Just march the king over and play for a4, and now this pawn just promotes, and the rest was simple. I hope you enjoyed this game, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.